Good morning, America. It's Groundhog Day, and all eyes were on our furry forecasters. In Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney Phil emerged and saw his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter, according to tradition. Staten Island Chuck in New York agreed, doubling down on the chilly forecast. For many, this feels like confirmation of the cold air already sweeping the Northeast. The legend, rooted in European folklore, says a shadow means more winter. No shadow means spring is near. So, don't pack away those coats just yet. Both Phil and Chuck are calling for more cold and snow. But how accurate are these predictions? Let's see what the real weather maps say for the weeks ahead. The big question, does science back up what the groundhogs are telling us? Groundhog Day is fun, a quirky tradition that brings people together every February 2nd. In towns like Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, crowds gather before dawn, braving the cold to see if a groundhog named Phil will spot his shadow. There's music, laughter, and a sense of anticipation in the air as everyone waits for the forecast. It's a celebration of folklore, community, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, spring will come early this year. But let's take a step back and look at the science behind the season. While the groundhog's prediction is a beloved ritual, the real story of winter's end is written in data, not shadows. Today's meteorologists use advanced technology, satellites, radar, and computer models to track weather patterns across the globe. They analyze vast amounts of information, from atmospheric pressure to ocean temperatures, to make forecasts that are far more accurate than any animal's guess. Meteorologists rely on science, not folklore, to predict what's coming next. Their work is a blend of mathematics, physics, and years of experience interpreting complex data. Every day, teams of experts monitor changing conditions, looking for clues about how the jet stream, moisture, and temperature will interact to shape our weather. And this year's forecast is far more complex than the simple 6 more weeks of winter or early spring that Phil offers. The reality is, weather doesn't follow a single script. It's a dynamic system, influenced by countless factors that can change from day to day and place to place. The weather ahead depends entirely on where you live. From the snowy peaks of the Rockies to the sun-drenched beaches of California, the United States is a patchwork of climates. What feels like the depths of winter in one region might be the first signs of spring in another. Local geography, elevation, and proximity to oceans all play a role in shaping what each community experiences. As for Punxsutawney Phil, his accuracy rate is only about 35%, less reliable than flipping a coin. Yet year after year, people flock to see his prediction, drawn by the charm of tradition and the hope for good news. Meanwhile, Staten Island Chuck, New York's own weather-predicting groundhog, boasts a slightly better record. His handlers claim he's right more often than not, and he's become a local celebrity in his own right. Still, even Chuck's best efforts can't compete with the precision of modern meteorology. Neither groundhog, no matter how famous, can match the tools and expertise of today's weather scientists. With access to real-time data and powerful forecasting models, meteorologists can predict temperature swings, snowstorms, and warm spells with remarkable accuracy, days or even weeks in advance. This year, those models reveal a dramatic split across the country. The east and central United States are bracing for a prolonged cold spell, with Arctic air pushing down from Canada and reinforcing winter's grip. Cities from Minneapolis to New York are preparing for icy winds, snow, and below-average temperatures that could linger well into March. Meanwhile, the West is experiencing a completely different story. High-pressure systems are bringing early spring warmth to places like California, Oregon, and Nevada. Trees are blooming, the sun is shining, and people are heading outdoors to enjoy the mild weather, weeks ahead of the usual schedule. The polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air high in the atmosphere, is sending frigid temperatures southward, keeping winter alive for millions from the Midwest to the East Coast. For these regions, heavy coats, scarves, and snow boots remain a daily necessity. Meanwhile, high pressure in the West means mild, sunny days and a taste of spring long before the calendar says it's official. Families are out in parks, joggers are back on the trails, and the mood is noticeably lighter as people soak up the sunshine. So, while Chicagoans bundle up against the biting wind, Californians are breaking out the short sleeves and sunglasses. It's a striking contrast that highlights just how diverse America's weather can be, even in the same month. This coast-to-coast divide is the real weather story of February, a tale of 2 seasons unfolding at once. While tradition gives us a reason to celebrate, it's science that tells us what to expect. So whether you're shoveling snow or enjoying an early spring picnic, remember, the true forecast comes from the skies above, not the shadow on the ground. Let's break it down. This month, the United States is experiencing a dramatic weather split that's hard to ignore. If you've been watching the forecasts, you might have noticed that meteorologists are talking about 2 very different stories unfolding at the same time. It's almost as if the country has been divided in half by an invisible line, with each side living in its own season. So, what's really happening, and why is the weather so different depending on where you live? Imagine drawing a line along the spine of the Rocky Mountains. This natural barrier is playing a huge role in shaping our weather right now. The Rockies act like a wall, separating 2 completely different air masses and weather patterns. To the east of this line, cold Arctic air is dominating, bringing a deep chill to millions. Meanwhile, to the west, warm and dry air is taking over, creating a stark contrast. It's a classic case of east is cold, west is warm. For those living in the eastern and central US, this means you're in for a stretch of persistent below-average temperatures. The cold isn't just a quick snap, it's sticking around, and with it comes an increased risk for winter storms. Cities from Chicago to Atlanta are bracing for icy commutes, snow-covered streets, and the kind of winter weather that makes you want to stay indoors. Snow and ice are likely, especially in the Midwest and Northeast. These regions could see several rounds of heavy snowfall, slick roads, and even some power outages as winter storms roll through. If you're in these areas, keep your shovels and winter gear handy. There's more to come. Out west, it's a completely different story. High-pressure systems are dominating, bringing plenty of sunshine and above-normal temperatures. California and Arizona in particular are enjoying clear skies and warm afternoons. It's the kind of weather that feels more like early spring than the middle of winter. By late February, some areas in the south and west will feel like it's already spring. Flowers are starting to bloom. People are trading heavy coats for light jackets. And outdoor activities are back on the agenda much earlier than usual. It's a welcome change for those tired of winter's chill. This dramatic split in weather highlights just how complex and dynamic our atmosphere can be. The same country at the same time is experiencing two completely different seasons. It's a reminder that one forecast can't fit all. Local conditions can vary wildly, even just a few hundred miles apart. While Boston braces for more winter storms and icy sidewalks, Los Angeles residents are enjoying sunshine and palm trees. The contrast couldn't be more striking. One city is digging out from snow, while the other is planning beach days. This national divide is the key weather story to watch this month. It's not just about temperature, it's about how these patterns affect everything from travel plans to energy use, and even our moods. The weather you experience depends on which side of the line you're on. Your experience of 6 more weeks of winter depends entirely on your zip code. For some, it means more snow days and bundling up. For others, it's an early taste of spring and a chance to get outside. This year the Groundhog's prediction really does depend on where you live. As we move through the month, keep an eye on how these patterns evolve. Weather can change quickly, and surprises are always possible. Stay tuned for updates and be prepared for whatever your local forecast has in store. What's behind the intense cold gripping the east and central US this winter? The answer lies high above us, in the swirling winds of the polar vortex, a powerful, persistent weather system that's making headlines and breaking records. This isn't just another cold snap, it's a dramatic shift in the atmosphere that's sending shockwaves of frigid air far beyond its usual Arctic home. The polar vortex is a vast pocket of cold, swirling air that typically circles the North Pole, kept in place by the jet stream. But when the jet stream weakens or wobbles, it can allow this icy air to spill southward, plunging deep into the United States. This year, that's exactly what's happening. Arctic air is surging down, blanketing the east and central regions in a deep freeze. Forecasts show a major Arctic blast is underway, targeting the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. Temperatures in these areas are expected to plummet 20 to 30 degrees below what's typical for this time of year. Cities that usually see chilly winters are now facing extreme cold, with wind chills making it feel even more brutal. For millions, this means waking up to single-digit or even sub-zero temperatures, icy sidewalks, and snow that just won't melt. Dangerous wind chills are a real threat, with frostbite possible in minutes if skin is exposed. The deep freeze isn't just a one-day event, it's expected to linger, keeping communities in a prolonged state of winter emergency. Schools are closing, outdoor events are canceled, and local officials are urging everyone to limit time outside and check on neighbors, especially the elderly and vulnerable. This relentless cold sets the stage for more winter storms. Heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain are all in the forecast, threatening to disrupt travel and knock out power. Highways are already treacherous, with accidents and stranded vehicles reported across several states. Power lines weighed down by ice are at risk of snapping, leaving thousands in the dark and cold. Emergency crews are working around the clock to keep roads clear and restore electricity. But the challenges are mounting. The Ohio Valley and Tennessee are bracing for more wintry conditions, following a January that was already filled with snow and ice. Rural communities are especially hard hit, with icy roads making travel dangerous and supplies harder to reach. Families are stocking up on essentials, and many are relying on wood stoves and generators to get through the coldest nights. For those longing for spring, the wait will be longer than usual. Meteorologists say that as long as the polar vortex pattern holds, true spring warmth will remain out of reach. Snow and ice may linger well into March, delaying the usual signs of renewal. Even as days grow longer, the stubborn cold will keep landscapes frosty and bare. For now, the focus is on staying safe and prepared as another round of severe winter weather moves in. Families are gathering supplies, checking emergency kits, and making sure loved ones have what they need. Communities are coming together, offering help to those who need it most. It's a time for caution, resilience, and looking out for one another as winter's grip tightens. Even the groundhogs seem to agree, winter's grip is far from over in the east. As the polar vortex continues to dominate the weather, residents across the region are hunkering down, waiting for the eventual return of warmth and sunshine. Until then, it's all about braving the cold, staying safe, and hoping for an early spring. West of the Rockies, it's a different story. An early spring is on the way. A strong ridge of high pressure is building, deflecting cold air and letting in warmth. California, Arizona, and Nevada will see highs in the 70s and 80s, with sunshine and dry conditions. The Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies will also be milder, though not as dramatically. The downside? Dry weather could worsen drought and raise wildfire risks. This warmth will speed up spring blooms and melt snowpack faster than usual. For now, the West can enjoy the sunshine while the East shivers. Weather experts will be watching for long-term impacts on water resources. Ignore the groundhogs out west. Your winter is ending early. What's causing this coast-to-coast split? It's La Niña. Cooler Pacific waters shift the jet stream, letting Arctic air plunge into the east and building high pressure in the west. This classic La Niña pattern means cold and stormy in the north, warm and dry in the south and west. February's forecast fits this setup perfectly. The good news. La Niña is expected to weaken by late spring, breaking down this extreme pattern. Until then, La Niña is the puppet master behind our wild winter weather. Expect more of the same, until March or April. The most surprising event? Record cold and even snow in Florida on Groundhog Day. Fort Lauderdale hit 37°4, a new record low. Even Key West felt the chill. Wind chills dropped into the 20s and 30s, shocking residents unaccustomed to such cold. Snow flurries were reported from Tallahassee to Tampa, a rare sight in the Sunshine State. Another cold front is on the way, though not as severe. This event shows just how far south Arctic air can reach under this pattern. While the groundhogs made headlines, the real story was winter's reach all the way to Florida. So, when does spring actually start? Folklore says 6 weeks after Groundhog Day, mid-March. Meteorological spring begins March 1st, based on temperature cycles. Astronomical spring starts at the vernal equinox, March 20th this year. These dates give us a more concrete timeline than folklore. But the atmosphere doesn't flip a switch. Some regions will feel spring early, others may see snow into April. The calendar is a guide, but real spring arrives at its own pace. This year, the transition will be as divided as the weather itself. With such a split pattern, preparation is key. In the east and central U.S., focus on winter storm readiness, emergency kits, warm clothing, and travel safety. Protect your home from freezing pipes and stay off roads during storms. In the west, early warmth means higher wildfire risk. Follow burn bans and clear brush. Stay informed with weather alerts and local news no matter where you are. February brings extremes, record cold and snow in the south, summer-like warmth in the west. Know your local forecast and take the right precautions. Stay safe and comfortable as we navigate the final weeks of this wild winter.